Are we live? Hold up. Wait, it's 4 o'clock. It's not 6 o'clock. Whoa, whoa, whoa. We're live. Okay, these run times. Should we be worried? Should we be concerned? I don't know. What's up, guys? It's Mike, a guy who loves Star Wars. We got a lot to talk about today. These runtimes for the Ahsoka shows. Should we be concerned? The first 3 episodes' runtimes are all out now. Also, there's a bunch of leaks going around about the show because there was some not test screenings. There was some screenings of the show already, like some early access stuff, and people are leaking out plots. So stay off the interweb except for this stream because we won't be talking about any of that. And if you know any of the leaks and actual spoilers for the show, don't bring them in here. We don't want to hear them. We're just going to speculate and have some fun. Austin, what's up? Austin, how you doing? So smash a freaking like on this video. Hit subscribe, all that fun stuff. We got to talk about all this. And of course, 6 days until the Ahsoka show. So the hype is absolutely real. Smash a like on this video and let's get right on into these runtimes, okay? First of all, let me open up the chat real quick. Let's just start a poll really quickly. Should we be worried? Should we be worried? Yes or no? Right away. You tell me, yes or no, should we worry? Are we good? Oh, we just froze for a second there. Star Wars Politics says, no, we should not. And I have to agree with that. Wholeheartedly. I have to agree with that. But let's get right into these so you guys know what I'm talking about here. So this article is coming from Inverse. So let's just jump right in. Let's just jump right on into this and let's give you guys all the information so that we can come to a conclusion together as a community as to whether or not this is the end of the world or not. Let's do it. Ahsoka, Episode 3 runtime repeats the worst Star Wars TV sin. Here we go. Okay. You need to block off some time to watch the new show, but how much time? Here we go. Ahsoka is combining the strengths of multiple Star Wars series. Okay. It's taking the protagonist of the Clone Wars, the characters of Rebels, and the live-action Disney Plus medium of The Mandalorian to build what should be the greatest hits compilation of modern Star Wars storytelling. However, there are still a few variables yet to be revealed about Ahsoka, including its runtime. Since Ahsoka is a streaming series, it's not beholden to the strict runtime structure of typical network shows, meaning like an hour or a half hour on a cable television network. It's on Disney Plus, so it can do whatever the fuck it wants. The lack of structure has led to wildly varying episode lengths in the Star Wars TV, like The Mandalorian Season 3 having episodes as short as 31 minutes and as long as an hour. Ahsoka Episode 1 and 2 have the standard 45-ish minute length, but Episode 3 raises questions about the rest of the series. Now, this is coming at a weird time. Many of us believed that these runtimes would be a lot higher than The Mandalorian. Many of us believed that Dave Filoni was going to do something great here and give us 45 to an hour almost every single episode. Now, this already throws that out the window. Here we go. According to Cryptic 4K Qual, who of course has gotten many of these other runtimes for other shows like The Mandalorian and others before, correct, has given us the first 3 episodes of the Ahsoka show, who's accurately leaked the runtimes for each The Mandalorian Season 3 episodes, blah, 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 blah. There we go. Says that Episode 3 of Ahsoka will clock in at 34 minutes and 50 seconds, or 31 minutes if you factor in credits. So here is the tweet itself. Ahsoka Episode 1 will be 54 minutes, which is insane. 51 minutes without credits. Episode 2 will be 42 minutes, which is insane as well. And those, all, of course, both come out at the same time 6 days from now. Those first 2 episodes are released both on August 23rd. Now, here's where things get very interesting. The following week, which is August 30th, something like that, Episode 3 will only be 34 minutes, but only 31 minutes without credits. Now, if we just scroll up a little bit back up here, it says The Mandalorian had episodes as short as 31 minutes and up to an hour long, right here. You have almost an hour-long episode 1 and a 31-minute episode 3. So it seems like Ahsoka's going to be on that same course. The runtimes are going to be almost the exact same as The Mandalorian. I still think, however, the Ahsoka show is going to be leaps and bounds better, but should we be worried? Should we be concerned about this runtime of only 31 minutes for the 3rd episode? You guys tell me, and I'll give you my input, because my input is quite different from what's going on around the interwebs. Well, let's finish this article real quick. This makes it one of the shortest episodes of live-action Star Wars ever. This is not what we wanted to hear, of course, any of the Ahsoka episodes being the shortest episode in live-action Star Wars ever, and it clearly departs from episode 1's expansive 51-minute runtime. However, there could be a simple explanation for this discrepancy. In a press release, Lucasfilm announced the director lineup for Ahsoka, and while show writer Dave Filoni is directing episodes 1 and 5, episode 2 and 3 are directed by Steph Green. Now, I don't really know. Should we look this guy up real quick? Let's do it. Steph Green. So Steph Green, it's a she. I thought it was a guy. My fault. Is an American film and television director, blah, 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 blah. Worked on Book of Boba Fett, worked on Watchmen, and Run and Jump, and New Boy. So, of course, we know Watchmen was a fantastic TV show. Depends on what episodes of the Book of Boba Fett she directed, but some of those are very, very good as well. Let's click on this IMDb right here. The Book of Boba Fett, episode 1. Wait, or does that just mean one episode? One episode. So she only did one episode, but which one? Let's find out. She did chapter 2. Is that the train heist one? Is chapter 2 in the Book of Boba Fett the train heist one? Somebody help me out in the chat. Am I right? Is that what's going on? Train heist? Yes. Correct. Yes. I believe it is the train heist one. If that is the case, that is one of the better episodes in the Book of Boba Fett in the early on stages of that season, for sure. So that's good. But the reason that this 3rd episode could be a lot shorter is because it might be a 2-parter with that 2nd episode. So episode 2 and 3 are both directed by her, being Steph Green. Green, whose resume includes chapter 2 of the book. Well, I didn't even have to look that up. It was right there in the next sentence. Chapter 2 of the Book of Boba Fett could be treating her episodes as a functional 2-parter, meaning they serve more as a 70-minute story than a 40-minute one and a 30-minute one. This is especially interesting considering Ahsoka has a 2-episode premiere, meaning there will likely be a cliffhanger at the end of episode 2. Hopefully, episode 3's short runtime is merely a side effect of the larger story being divided in half, not evidence of wildly varying runtimes for the series. In the streaming era, it's tempting to make runtimes fit stories instead of the reverse. But the structure of 45-minute episodes is one of the most tried and true in television history. The Mandalorian Season 3's wide range of runtimes made the show feel erratic, like it was never sure what it wanted the viewer's experience to be. Ahsoka could use some consistency if it wants to win viewers over, and runtimes are an easy place to start. So, with all of that being said, with this crazy low runtime, with the possibility of it just being a 2-parter with Steph Green's 2nd episode just being one big story and finishing off that one big story arc of that episode, who knows? However, with all of that being said, what do you think about this? Is this to be concerned about? Is this to be worried about? Should we be worried? What do you think? Honey Badger says, worried about what? Well, the runtimes. Austin says, I love Ahsoka. She is the best. I got to agree with you there, Austin. Definitely agree with you there. Star Wars Politics says, the Bo-Katan Season 2 Mando episode was very short and one of the best. All right, we're going to get into that in a second, but I'm going to keep reading these because that is a good point. Short episode doesn't mean bad episode. Well, let's keep reading. Honey Badger says, that's not that bad, especially if we get no filler episodes in the Ahsoka show. I don't think the series has enough time to put in fillers, so if it's straight story, then I'm okay with the short run times. Okay. Austin says, because Ahsoka's runtimes are long. Yes. Well, this one's kind of short. Swagger Like Us says, no worries. Knowing Filoni's former projects, the storytelling is usually concise and tight-knit. He has recent comments regarding Ahsoka being fast and intense. Very true. Salty Texas Ranger, what's up, Salty? Says, Snuggins. I don't know what that means. Honey Badger says, episode 3 could also be the time jump we were rumored to get. And end off at 3, time jump into episode 4. That's true. There's supposed to be a time jump in the middle of the season, but wouldn't the middle of the season be episode 4? Maybe. Salty Texas Ranger says, it depends on the content of the episode. Interesting. Star Wars Politics says, Tales of the Jedi were episode 10. The episodes were 10 minutes, people. I'm very glad you brought that up because I was just about to bring that up. Tales of the Jedi. You remember that? You remember that show last year? That was probably the best show of the entire year from Star Wars. You remember that show? That was 6 episodes, and the episodes were all about 10 minutes. You guys remember that show, Tales of the Jedi? Ring any bells? Anybody? Tales of the Jedi? Give me a 1 into the chat if you watched Tales of the Jedi. Tales of the Jedi. You guys know what I'm talking about? Had Yaddle's death. Had Dooku. Had Ahsoka Tano. We know what we're talking about here, right? Tales of the Jedi. Tales of the Jedi. You guys know what I'm talking about? Yeah, you guys know. Of course. 10-minute episodes. Dave Filoni, of course, created Tales of the Jedi. He did so much storytelling in 10 minutes. We got 3 episodes of Ahsoka, 3 episodes of Dooku, all at about 10 to 12 minutes on average. And the amount of storytelling that can get done in such a short period of time is insane. And Dave Filoni is a guy who can do that. And like Swagger Like Us said, Ahsoka is going to be faster and more intense. These episodes are going to be very fast-paced. The story is going to hit the ground running immediately from the jump, from the opening scene in episode 1, and we're just going to have a non-stop adventure for 8 episodes. There's going to be no filler. It's not going to be like The Mandalorian. It's going to be a completely different feeling than even Mando Season 1 or 2. Mando Season 1 and 2 are still just, you're learning about the character of Din Djarin. You're learning about the character of Grogu. There's so much mystery behind Grogu. You're trying to figure it out as it goes along, and you're introduced to so many brand new characters. With the Ahsoka show, these characters have already been introduced. Now, Baylan, Shin, Morgan Elsbeth, these are newer characters. However, they're still already kind of, you get the gist. They're Jedi who survived Order 66, and now they're bad guys. So, with all that being said, you have Anakin, you have Ahsoka, you have Sabine, you have Hera, you have all these characters, Thrawn, Ezra, that have already been introduced, that are already known characters, so you can just hit the ground and go right away. Now, the 31-minute episode 3 does not concern me slightly, because going back to Star Wars Politics point, we've had short episodes before. And actually, usually, the shortest episodes are the best episodes. Now let's go to Disney. Let's make our way over to Disney Plus here, and let's take a look at some of these run times for previous seasons, because something crazy happens here with these short episodes. But let me catch up on these chats real quick. Where was I? Swagger Like Us says, speaking of short run times, Tales of the Jedi did it in 15 minutes. Yes, exactly. And what Mando Season 3, Kenobi, and Book of Boba Fett failed to do in an entire season. Very true. Austin says, I was very surprised by those Dooku episodes. Yeah, those Dooku episodes and Tales were amazing. And it's crazy because Count Dooku, has very little screen time when it comes to the prequel trilogy. He has a lot more screen time when it comes to the Clone Wars animated show. But even still, he is a character that is so cool. He's a fallen Jedi that when you look at the story of Anakin Skywalker, he plays a way bigger role than many people think. Dooku is kind of not like the reason Anakin falls to the dark side, obviously, but he is one of many people that see the corruption in what the Jedi are doing wrong. Now, Dooku doesn't want to technically become a Sith. He doesn't want to do what Anakin did, kill all the Jedi. That's not what Dooku's mission is. Dooku wants to change the way that the Jedi look. And you can see it in Attack of the Clones. When he captures Obi-Wan, he's not trying to kill Obi-Wan. He's trying to bargain with Obi-Wan to stop Palpatine. Many people don't remember this because Attack of the Clones is many people's least favorite Star Wars movie, which is insane to me. But when Dooku captures Obi-Wan on Geonosis, he's trying to recruit Obi-Wan and literally telling him that the Senate is being run by a Sith Lord. He's literally talking about Palpatine and how he wants to overthrow him. And we see many times throughout the Clone Wars that he wants to overthrow him. Dooku is such a cool character, but he really foreshadows Ahsoka leaving the Jedi Order, Qui-Gon's views on the Jedi Order, like all these different characters throughout the prequel trilogy who don't really think that the Jedi are good people, see the corruption that's going on with the Jedi, see that they're letting a Sith Lord grow up right underneath their nose. Dooku is the prime example of that, and Tales of the Jedi was awesome, exploring that character. Yeah. Star Wars Politics says, this really will be all killer, no filler. R.I.P. Robert Rodriguez. JK, he didn't really die, just died in the Star Wars fandom. Yeah, it is kind of strange you don't hear Robert's name anymore, but that's probably because of the Book of Boba Fett, and a lot of blame was put onto him for the Book of Boba Fett. But, yeah. I'm sure you'll see Robert come back at some point. I'm sure you will. And yes, I do think this show will be all killer, no filler. Where was I? Swagger Lego says, even Dave Filoni's victory and death climax conveyed more story in the final minutes despite no dialogue. Victory and death. Oh, at the end of Clone Wars Season 7, when Ahsoka is looking over the dead stormtroopers that she buried, and then it flashes forward to Vader and picking up her lightsaber. Yeah, I mean, come on. It's genius. The guy's a genius. Salty Texas Ranger says, Dooku was also gaslighting Obi-Wan. Yes and no. He was literally telling him the truth. He was telling him that Palpatine is a Sith Lord, and he just didn't want to listen. He was like, you're a liar. Austin says, yes, there's a Sith temple underneath the Jedi temple. Yeah, so on Coruscant, there is technically a Sith temple underneath the Jedi temple, which, again, is crazy. Honey Badger says, if I was Dooku, as soon as Anakin chopped off my hands, I would have snitched on Palpatine then and there. Could have saved the galaxy. Yeah. Well, if you watch Revenge of the Sith, when he chops his hands off, he looks over at Palpatine. He's like, help. He's like, what is going on? He just chopped off my hands. And then he literally says, do it. And he's like, what? And then he just chops off his head. So he doesn't really have much time to do that. And if he was just like, he's the real bad guy, it wouldn't really make much sense because he's clearly captured and in chains. But, yeah. Yeah, agreed. Let's move on over to Disney Plus, though, and check out these runtimes for previous Star Wars shows. Let's do it. Okay, there we go. Boom, got it. All right, here we go. Try group watch and watch together. No, let's not do that. Okay, so go back to Mando Season 1. Episode 2, which is 34 minutes. Again, that's probably even shorter than the episode we were talking about here. This is the episode where it's not the egg, is it? It's the egg, yeah, right? This is the egg episode, right? With the Jawas, correct? I'm right? I'm always right, of course. So, this is the egg episode. This is the Mudhorn episode. This is seeing Grogu use the Force for the first freaking time. This is one of the coolest things. And when it first came out, it was like, holy crap. First of all, when Grogu was shown in the first episode at the end, the internet broke. Then episode 2 comes around, and he uses the freaking Force to lift a Mudhorn. The internet broke again. And again, only 34 minutes. So that's shorter than the episode we're talking about here. Gunslinger is definitely a filler episode. Or not really. I mean, it introduces Fennec Shand and stuff, but it is kind of a filler episode. It gives more story to Din, of course. And so, yeah, that was the shortest episode of season 1 and probably one of the best episodes, other than the finale and arguably the runner-up to the finale. Yeah, the last 2 episodes are probably the best 2 of this season, but that's probably the 3rd best, in my opinion. I mean, that's seeing Grogu use the Force for the first time. How freaking cool is that? Let's go to season 2. Season 2. 56, crazy. 43. Oh, boom. This is almost the exact replica of the Ahsoka show. Really long first episode, quality 40-ish minute episode 2, and then a shorter episode 3. But let's be honest, and Star Wars Politics said this earlier, this is when Bo-Katan gets introduced. This episode is amazing. And it's 37 minutes. It's very short. Amazing. Absolutely fantastic, and it's only the 37 minutes. Again, shortest episode of the season. Oh, nope. Shortest episode of the season is this one. 35 minutes, which is, this is the episode on, what the hell's that name? Navarro. This is the episode on Navarro, where we see the cloning facility on Navarro, where we get the, what's it called? When they fight in space, the space fights, the space fights. We see the Razor Crest just blow up a bunch of TIE fighters in this cool, awesome chase scene. Like, this is some of the best episodes are shorter. Of course, you have longer episodes, like this is the best episode of The Mandalorian ever, The Jedi, and it's about 50 minutes. But that's besides the point. Then we go to season 3. Season 3, first episode, very short. The first episode, they go to Mandalore, correct? First episode's really good. You see the Purgle. Is that when he fights the pirates too? Something like that? Honestly, I remember season 1 and season 2 more than season 3, but that's because I've watched them actually more recently. The Foundling episode, the shortest episode of them. This is the Order 66 flashback episode. I mean, talk about breaking the internet. And yeah, that's the shortest one. An Order 66 flashback episode is your shortest episode in season 3. So I don't think we should be too concerned. Let's go look at the Book of Boba Fett maybe, and Book of Boba Fett. Where is it? Book of Boba Fett and Kenobi maybe too. Kenobi, you got these blah 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 blah. Shortest episode being this one. Honestly, I don't remember the Kenobi show except for the finale, so if we're being honest. So I don't know what happens in that episode, but yeah, you get the point. The best episodes don't always mean that they're the longest episodes. Where's Book of Boba Fett? They hide it all the way back here. Book of Boba Fett. We got... Book of Boba Fett had some long-ass episodes. Maybe it's because it's 7, so they had to make them longer. The finale was 62 minutes. That's crazy. Wow, Book of Boba Fett has some long-ass episodes. The shortest ones being 40 minutes. The third and first one. That's wild. That is wild. Maybe it's because it was supposed to be 8 episodes. They dwindled it down to 7. That could be it. But yeah, that's what we're dealing with here. The Ahsoka show, episode 3, only being 34 minutes is not the end of the world. It's actually probably good news because the shortest episodes from each individual season are usually one of the top 3 episodes of the season. So this means that episode 3 is probably something to look forward to rather than to get upset about. And I can't believe all these people going around online talking so much crap about the Ahsoka show because they're like, oh, this is gonna be terrible. Have you seen the runtime for episode 3? This ruins the entire show. It's 8 episodes. You're getting 6-ish hours of Ahsoka Tano, of just straight faster and more intense storytelling, of Dave Filoni completely writing the entire thing, a story he's been wanting to tell for years with Anakin Skywalker and Ahsoka freaking Tano. Whew. It's crazy. So should we be worried? Absolutely not. We should be more excited than ever because the Ahsoka show is only 6 days away. 6 days away. But in 5 days, we'll be doing the first ever giveaway on the channel. Of course, I could not go without remembering to mention this. So if you want to be automatically put into this giveaway, you have to become a member of the channel. We'll be doing giveaways almost every single month, if not twice a month, when there's a new show coming out. So what are we giving away? Great question. This awesome shirt right here. Because, of course, Vader or Anakin will be in this show. And Ahsoka Tano. Ahsoka Tano from Mando Season 2. Those will be given away on Tuesday's live stream. The Tuesday live stream will be at 6 p.m., and that's when that will all be happening. We'll be doing a giveaway. Right now, we only have one member of the channel. If you want to become a member, click that join button next to your subscribe or the link in the description below that says join the community. Join the people who love Star Wars and be able to do some fun, cool stuff like membership streams, have the ability to send in membership chats. You get exclusive content. You get exclusive giveaways, stuff like that. So yeah, become a member today or yesterday. What are you waiting for? And smash a gosh darn like on this video while you're at it. So what do we think about this runtime before we move on out of here? Salty Texas Ranger says, the lack of Cara Dune hurt Season 3 tremendously. Yeah, I absolutely agree. I think Cara Dune being fired hurts Season 3 than most people even realize. I think it hurts it a lot more than the casual fan even knows. And honestly, like, if you're a casual fan, do you even, like, recognize that Cara Dune's not there? Like, was there anybody, like, confused about Cara Dune not being there? I know most of you guys here are probably not just normal casual fans and you all knew that Gina Carano was fired, but I wonder if people were just like, wait, where's that girl that was from Season 2? Yeah. Austin Snow says, Episode 5, The Jedi, is the best. It is the best. That episode introduces Ahsoka Tano. It's directed by Dave Filoni. It is the best. Honey Badger says, yes, the first episode was the Pirate Purgle episode of Season 3. Yeah. Salty Texas Ranger says, the Book of Boba Fett illustrates my point about the quality of content. Longer episodes with a lot of crap content and stolen episode from The Mandalorian Season 3. Yeah, so Book of Boba Fett is a perfect example. It's wicked long episodes, which everybody wants, but it's not quality. It's quantity over quality. That's the perfect example. Book of Boba Fett has great scenes, has great episodes with Mando in episode 5, I think, and Luke training Grogu with Ahsoka in episode 6, Cad Bane in episode 7. You got some great stuff in there, but the problem is it's not great from start to finish, and it has wicked long episodes. And granted, it's only 7 episodes, but still, quality over quantity. Right now, what's pretty interesting is the poll is sitting at 43% of you say that we should be worried about this, which is kind of interesting. Honey Badger says, crazy that Boba got the long episodes. I wish they did better with them. Yeah, the Book of Boba Fett was a big miss. But again, I think it's also because of the firing of Gina Carano. Book of Boba Fett was something that was pushed out that Kathleen Kennedy wanted to make. Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau did not want to make the Book of Boba Fett. Actually, Dave Filoni is only involved in the one episode, and he directs it, and it's the best episode. He's, of course, a producer on the show, but they were more concerned about Ahsoka, for Dave at least, and The Mandalorian Season 3 for Jon. Jon wrote the entire Book of Boba Fett, and there's no excuse for it being as bad as it was with certain episodes not living up to the hype it should be. Boba Fett not being as badass as he should be. But a lot of that still lies on the shoulders of Kathleen Kennedy, as it should. She's the freaking president, which is still just mind-boggling to me. Honey Badger says, we're getting the Ahsoka show by Dave. It will be amazing regardless. Haters gonna hate. It's true. It's gonna be amazing, and I can't freaking wait. I literally can't wait. And what's awesome is, I'm sure many people are going to click on this video because it says, oh, Runtimes, should we be worried? And they're going to be like, yeah, we're going to be worried. Let's crap all over the Ahsoka show. And I'm going to be like, ha, no, kind gentleman or lady. Choice words. You are wrong. We're perfectly fine because the Ahsoka show is going to be amazing. Whew, okay. Should we get our daily dose of hype up in here? Should we get our daily dose of hype? Let's get some daily dose of hype. You guys want to get hyped? You guys want to get hyped? Should we get hyped? Give me I don't want to say a 1. Give me a 2 into the chat if you want to get really, really hyped. Do you guys want to get hyped really quickly? Do you guys really, really want to get hyped? Like really, really badly? I feel like we need to get hyped a little bit. It's like a Thursday afternoon. We got to get a little bit more hype. All right, I see it 1, 2 at least. All right, let's do it. This is the greatest trailer of all time, and we're watching it again. I know we've watched it on stream already. I don't give a fuck, okay? This is the greatest trailer of all time, and we're going to watch it again.
Everyone in the order.
Oh, that's too quiet. Hang on 1 second. Hang on 1 second. Better.
A new Anakin Skywalker. Few would live to see what he became.
By the end of the Clone Wars, I walked away from him.
Why is this so quiet? Oh, that would make sense. My fault, guys. My fault. Let's start it over.
Everyone in the order knew Anakin Skywalker. Few would live to see what he became.
By the end of the Clone Wars, I walked away from him and the Jedi.
In this war, you will face more than just droids. As your master, it's my responsibility to prepare you. I won't always be there to look out for you.
I could use the help. Once a rebel, always a rebel.
Don't be afraid. And trust your instincts. I know you can do this, Ahsoka.
Oh, yeah. I literally, from now on until the Ahsoka show starts at least, I'm starting my morning with that trailer. I'm starting every morning with that trailer. How, like, does it get more hype than that? Is that not the greatest thing you've ever set your eyes on? Come on. I mean, come on. Whew. Let's watch it again. You guys want to watch it again? You guys want to watch it again? Do you guys want to watch it again? Anybody? Anybody want to watch it again? 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 We're watching it again. I don't care what you think. I don't care what you say.
Everyone in the order knew Anakin Skywalker. Few would live to see what he became.
By the end of the Clone Wars, I walked away from him and the Jedi.
You did. Yeah, you did.
In this war, you will face more than just droids. As your master...
Can we just take a second? How freaking cool is it that Hayden Christensen is back as Anakin? Like, just let that process through your brain, because I don't think a lot of people actually, like, realize how damn cool that is.
Master, it's my responsibility to prepare you. I won't always be there to look out for you.
I could use the help. Once a rebel, always a rebel.
Don't be afraid. And trust your instincts.
Having the Force theme play in the background, too, is so good. John Williams is a freaking genius.
I know you can do this, Ahsoka.
So a little thing right here people were noticing online was that clearly Ahsoka's hand here, when she brings it up to, like, right there, is, right there. You can clearly tell it's been, like, cut or, like, burned by a lightsaber, probably. She also only has one lightsaber because she's either lost it in this fight or is lost it at some point. Well, I'm guessing this fight is right after she fought the Inquisitor, because it's the same planet and she has the same clothes on, and it might happen when she's either fighting the Inquisitor or fighting Balin, but she does either lose one lightsaber at some point and cuts that hand. Now, we don't know what's going on, but on Saturday stream or Tuesday stream, we will be dissecting everything we know and what we think is going on in this first episode, or the first 2 episodes, I guess. So what we think is going to go on and what we think is going down in the Ahsoka show. We're going to speculate like crazy on Saturday or Tuesday. I think probably Saturday, because Tuesday is going to be more about predicting, like a prediction stream of like, what do you think could happen? What is the boldest prediction you got? Whatever, stuff like that. So we'll do that on Tuesday. So on Saturday, we're going to dissect all these trailers, every single one, and figure out like what's going on, kind of what order it's going in and stuff like that. But this is very interesting. She lost a lightsaber at some point in this fight, and she's cut her hand pretty bad right there. Yeah. So that is the hypest trailer of all time. Probably the greatest crafted trailer of all time, and it's only 45 seconds long. Again, another example of quality over quantity. That is the perfect trailer, and it's only 45 seconds. I've seen 3-minute trailers that are not nearly as good. Completely off topic. Literally just popped into my brain, and it's way off topic. But August 22nd, what's today's date? In 5 days, there is the first official teaser trailer, I think it is, for Rebel Moon. Now, if you're unfamiliar with what Rebel Moon is, it's Zack Snyder's Star Wars, pretty much. So, another spin-off of Star Wars. It's going to be very cool. It's going to be on Netflix, stuff like that. I don't know if I'll be covering it. We'll see how good it is if we'll be covering it, because it is kind of a Star Wars, like, adjacent thing. But that trailer comes out in 5 days. Yep. Yeah. All right. Where were we? Austin Snow says, will Cad Bane be in Ahsoka show? Because he didn't really die. Well, I think Cad Bane is still alive. I don't think he died in the Book of Boba Fett. But no, I don't think he'll be in Ahsoka. No, definitely not. Definitely not. Salty Texas Ranger says, I feel so embarrassed for Tamara Morrison after watching the Book of Boba Fett. He deserved a better story. Yeah, that's the biggest issue too, is he loves to play Boba. And he was actually even saying, like, this is not Boba. Like, that's what he was telling the people on set. But yeah, you got to feel bad for the guy. But the best part is Tamara Morrison got to come back and play a clone in Kenobi. He's probably going to play Rex in Ahsoka, and he'll probably come back and play badass Boba again, and hopefully very, very soon. Derpy Entertainment, what's up? Derpy says, this is where the fun begins. Shade says, I've been a desk chair for 8 hours. Yes, please. Send some hype. You've been a desk chair? That's interesting. I've been a human for the last 8 hours. Derpy Entertainment says, I'd say maybe be worried because it could be bait and switch again. Yeah, I think it is. I think it's a short episode, but guess what? It's going to be a straight fire banger episode. That's what we're dealing with here. Salty Texas Ranger says, you want to hype us? Post a hot pic of Princess Leia in a metal slave bikini. No. Austin says, R.I.P. Ray Stevenson. Yeah, I still think Ray Stevenson's going to give us a amazing performance in the Ahsoka show. I do believe that hopefully his character goes out in a way that is good to the story, just so that it doesn't have to be another, like, Chadwick Boseman type situation where, of course, his passing was so tragic and surprising that they didn't really know what to do. So I hope that they can take care of his character in a way that's respectful to him, but also very good for the story. Yeah. Derpy Entertainment says, but Star Wars content is dry right now. I need it. I know. The Ahsoka show is coming at the perfect time. Like, the perfect time. The hype for this show is real. Like, a few months ago, I was saying it might be a bad thing because not many casual fans know about the Ahsoka show, know about Ahsoka in general. Most people that don't watch the animated shows have never seen Ahsoka before, except for, like, a brief scene in Mando and one brief episode in the Book of Boba Fett. But even then, they probably didn't know the character. They probably didn't care. However, most of those normie fans will come watch The Mandalorian because of Grogu, because of Baby Yoda. He's so cute. Let's go watch that show. Ahsoka doesn't have that drive. However, months later, the hype is real. Like, all over Twitter, Ahsoka's been trending all week. It's been trending. The trailer that we just watched was trending on YouTube for days. The hype is real. Normie fans know, because they're releasing trailer after trailer every single day, TV spot after TV spot. Like, the hype is real. It's real. It's here. The Ahsoka show is coming, and everybody's going to watch it. I hope and I pray that this show breaks records, literally just shatters records. Maybe not the opening episodes, but by the time that the show ends, I hope it's breaking every single Disney Plus record that there is. Not only Star Wars, but Marvel and all others. I hope it's breaking every record that Disney has so that they get the message. They get the message. Hey, look, Dave Filoni, he's the GOAT. Put him in charge of everything. And that's the message we want to convey. Honey Badger says, man, hearing Anakin speak again is all the hype I need. It's absolutely insane. I agree. Star Wars Politics says, I feel like this is his actual return to Star Wars. Kenobi didn't count because the love wasn't there when making the show. It does have a different feeling to it. Like Anakin and Obi-Wan came back to Star Wars last year, and the hype just wasn't there. I mean, it was, obviously. The first episode broke Disney's record for most watched first premiere, but the hype wasn't really there. Like, I wasn't nearly as excited for the Kenobi show than I am for the Ahsoka show, which is insane. Anakin and Obi-Wan were back. And I wasn't as excited as I am for the Ahsoka show. It's kind of a weird spot to be in. I feel like we went into the Obi-Wan Kenobi show knowing that it could have been bad. That we didn't really know who the writer was. Deborah Chow, although she did well on a few episodes of The Mandalorian, took over the entire season. John and Dave weren't attached to the show at all. It was all just kind of very strange. Now, don't get me wrong. The finale of Kenobi is probably one of the... I don't know. It's tough. It's one of the most emotional scenes in Star Wars for sure. When Anakin gets his mask cut and you hear the voice change between Anakin and between Vader, it is probably a top 10, easily top 10, arguably top 5 moment in Star Wars ever. Hayden's performance, Ewan's performance, it's amazing. It's literally straight out of the prequels. It's the perfect extension to the story. However, you have 5 episodes that precede that are just gloobly glob nonsense of a running around little girl where nobody can catch her. And Reva, of course, and the Grand Inquisitor looking like an idiot. So the Kenobi show is an enigma wrapped in a riddle, but that finale is amazing. Now, the Ahsoka show has a completely different feel for it. We know Anakin's coming back. We know Ahsoka's going to be in it. We know the Rebels cast is going to be in it. We know Thrawn's going to be in it. And we know that Dave Filoni is in charge. So the hype is way, way higher for this show than the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, which is bonkers. A character that was created in animation, that's only been in live action once, has more hype behind it than Obi-Wan and Darth Vader, the chosen one. I get the chosen one is going to be in this show as well, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Yeah. Derpy Entertainment says, today, next week, the first 2 episodes will be out. I know. 3 a.m. watch party? Yes. 3 a.m. watch party. So I'm probably going to start the watch party at 2:30 or 2:45 on Wednesday morning, a.m. We're talking about Eastern Standard Time. So probably like 15 minutes or a half hour before the show starts, we'll be in the chat speculating for last-minute predictions, getting hype for the last time before we actually get to experience the show, and it'll be amazing. It'll be amazing. So get your popcorn. Get your popcorn. I don't know. Star Wars Politics says, yeah, you doing watch parties, Mike? Yes, we are for the entire freaking season. I'm so excited. Honey Badger says, the Ahsoka watch parties will be so much fun. 3 a.m. and we are all going to stay up and watch it together. I don't know about all of you guys, but I'm sure many of you will be there. Derpy Entertainment says, Ahsoka will be like Bantha fun. Yes. Shade says, trailer is epic, but I can't hear the words best trailer ever without mentioning AC Revelations trailer being the GOAT. Had to. Who the hell is AC Revelations? Looking it up. AC Revelations trailer. Oh, Assassin's Creed. I don't know if I've ever seen this. I only played Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, so I would not know. But Shades, you're wrong. You're wrong. This is the best trailer of all time. Best trailer of all time. Sad days. By the way, what do we think of my Ahsoka mug? I got this at Fan Expo last weekend. Some fan actually handcrafted that for me. Not specifically for me, but I bought it. Ta-da! Whoa. Okay. Where was I? Austin Snow says, like Balin would have sacrificed himself because Shin will lose her master. Wait, what? She'll give in to her anger and become a Sith. Well, technically the both of them aren't technically Sith, I guess, but they're dark side users, as far as we know. That would be true. That could be true. Austin, that's a great point. Maybe Balin does die to Ahsoka or to somebody. And that will just make Shin even more angry. And maybe Shin is more powerful than Balin or something along those lines. And she becomes very angry and more upset with the Force. I agree. Salty Texas Ranger says, there was less hype for Kenobi because the concept of Kenobi and Anakin fighting after episode 3 and before episode 4 was stupid as fuck. Canon damaging. That's true. That is true. I think the Ahsoka show has a lot more build up to it with the Mandalorian's 3 seasons. It fits perfectly into the timeline with in between the originals and the sequels, and it's also supposed to lead into Dave's movie that was just announced a few months ago. So that also builds upon the hype. But yeah, I get what you mean. The Obi-Wan Kenobi show didn't really have much hype because it seemed unnecessary. Although it did answer a few unanswered questions that still remained from A New Hope, it wasn't necessary to answer those questions. I know what you mean, though. I know what you mean. Good cups follow orders. Yes, indeed. Great cups follow orders. Salty Texas Ranger says, I'm sure my Disney Plus subscription will expire on August 22nd at midnight because it seems to expire the morning of the debut of every damn Star Wars show. Well, there you go. That's how they keep you coming back for more. That's how they keep you with your subscription. That's why they pretty much release a Marvel or Star Wars show every single month to keep you with that subscription. Now, the problem with that is they've had some crappy Marvel shows recently. As bad as people think we have it with Star Wars, Marvel seems to be in a worse place. Actually, this is a good point. I was going to make this whole entire stream about how Star Wars is in a better spot than almost any other media out there. Now, that might sound insane. You might be like, Mike, what are you talking about? There hasn't been a Star Wars movie in 4 years. Kathleen Kennedy is still the president, and Disney is crumbling. Plus, there's 2 actors and a writer's strike going on right now. To that, I would say, first of all, you can't do much about the strikes. There's really nothing you can do. But that means every other studio is also dealing with the strikes. Now, Kathleen Kennedy is the one only issue I have with this whole thing. But that only takes one firing to fix all your problems. I know not all your problems, but fix most of your problems. Kathleen Kennedy is almost tied to every single problem there is with everything that has to do with Star Wars. But here's why I think Star Wars is in a better spot than every other studio. Let's say studio or IP, whatever you want to call it. Look at Marvel. Any Marvel heads in the chat right now? Any Marvel heads? Look at Marvel. The last 2 years, you look at Disney Plus, just Disney Plus alone for now. The last 2 years of Marvel for Disney Plus has been Moon Knight, which is pretty good. I mean, the finale was lackluster, but the first couple episodes were amazing. Miss Marvel, unless you're literally just a Pakistani little girl, which was their target audience, it was not that good. Then you have She-Hulk, which, why? Why was that a thing? Why? Why was that a thing? The CGI was terrible. The story was literally just pointless and stupid. And the finale was her going into the real world and meeting a Kevin Feige robot. It was dumb. It makes no sense at all. And then this year, you have Secret Invasion, which is the lowest rated thing that they have so far. And it sucked. Secret Invasion was pointless, bad, writing wise. The finale was just Gaia with a giant Drax arm. It was just stupid. Loki's going to be good. I can guarantee that. You have Echo, which is going to be pointless. You have Agatha coming up, which is going to be pointless. Then you look at the movies. You had Thor Love and Thunder, which was coming off of Ragnarok, was just stupid. Then you have Wakanda Forever, which really hurt from Chadwick's pass, which of course was no fault to Marvel, but didn't help the story at all. But I didn't think that movie was that bad. Then you had Ant-Man Quantumania, which personally I liked more than the average viewer, but that movie got shit on. And then you have Guardians 3, which was really, really good. And that's where we are now. We're going into the Marvels this November, which is gonna be a disaster. Could be good, but it might still be a disaster. And that's Marvel the last couple of years. Who is that bad? Then you look over at DC. DC could be the biggest joke of a IP on the planet. How can you have Batman and Superman, Green Lantern, The Flash, Wonder Woman, and others, and still suck this bad? How could you be this bad? How could you possibly be this bad? The Flash. Ugh. Literally disgusting. Absolutely atrocious. Not even to mention the fact that the lead of the movie is a freaking... Yeah, leave it at that. Then you have the new CEO, James Gunn. The guy who did 3 pretty amazing Guardians of the Galaxy movies, blowing the entire thing up. We're going to do a reboot, but we're not going to reboot anybody except for Henry Cavill and Ben Affleck. Wonder Woman's coming back. Maybe. Aquaman's coming back as a different character. And we may or may not be rebooting. The Flash, what was that? I don't know. Blue Beetle comes out this weekend. Guess what? That's going to make no money. It's a disaster. Then you look at, what else is there? Star Trek? Does anybody even watch that anymore? I've actually heard that the 3rd season of Picard on Paramount is pretty good, but who cares? What even else is there? Star Wars is in the best situation of any other IP there is. All you have to do is fire Kathleen Kennedy, all your problems go away, and now you're coming off the back of Ahsoka. You're going right into Skeleton Crew. You're going right into the Acolyte show. You're going into another huge hit video game, Star Wars Outlaw, after coming off the back of Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Now you're going into Dave's movie, this possible trilogy Dave could be getting, Bad Batch Season 3. Like, they're in the best situation of anybody else, and it's not even close. It's not even close. It's crazy. I think you're hating too much. I don't think I am. I'm a big Marvel fan. I've enjoyed Ant-Man. I've enjoyed Thor: Love and Thunder. Then I go online and everybody hates it. Now I'm a Marvel fan where I'm not the same Star Wars fan as I am a Marvel fan. Where as a Star Wars fan, I like to dissect everything. I like to come on here and talk to you guys about it. Marvel, I'm kind of the same way, but not nearly to the extent. DC, I guess I would have been if there was any DC to latch onto. But I'm not hating too much. Marvel is such a hodgepodge mess right now. DC is just a disaster. Like, it's like already burnt to ash that we should just let it sit for a while. Fire James Gunn already. He's so bad. And then just build it up on some other structure. But Marvel can turn around for sure. But Star Wars is at the best spot it could possibly be. And I'm not sitting here telling you this because I'm a Star Wars channel. I want you guys to subscribe, which you probably should by this point. But when you look at the future, when you look to the future, and when you look at what's going on right now, Star Wars is in the best situation of any of these. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Am I so far off with my take right there? Is that too crazy of a take? Or what do you think? Where was I? Honey Badger says, good cuz follow orders. Very true. Shade says, does anybody know if Obi-Wan will make an appearance in Ahsoka? Like, is there any possibility? I think there is a possibility of Obi-Wan in Ahsoka, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see about that. I'm actually going to... I'll just read them real quick. Honey Badger says, Mike, did you see the news today that Ewan McGregor went to Disney with Kenobi Season 2 pitch? I did not see that, but I don't doubt it. He really wants to come back and play more Obi-Wan. It's kind of crazy. He'd love to do it, but we'll see if there's a story there. Therapy Entertainment says, now tell me, where is your master? Where is Grand Admiral Thrawn? Yeah, very true. That's what Ahsoka says in Mando Season 2, and I can't wait to see where he is. Salty Texas Ranger says, oh, what? I already read that. Sorry. All right. Now we're where we want to be. Salty Texas Ranger says, your Ahsoka mug looks like the Ahsoka Angry Birds with Ahsoka's Leku. Star Wars Angry Birds. I don't know if you're right or not. I don't know what you're talking about. Honey Badger says, I doubt we see Kenobi in Ahsoka if it's not a flashback. If we see Rex and Padme, I say we see Rex and Padme since they were more integral to Ahsoka's character. Yeah, I think they're probably more likely than Kenobi, but why not? If Ewan wants to come back and not take that much money away from the show, do it. Why not? It'll be a smaller cameo for sure, but why not? Star Wars Politics says, can we start doing streams at this time again? Maybe. Maybe as the winter comes along. Maybe. I'll think about it. We'll see what the analytics tell me. What do you guys like for stream times? 4 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 8 o'clock? Sometimes it's just what's going on in my day where we have to do it at certain times, like today. But I usually like the 6 o'clock start. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Swagger Like Us says, facts, Mike. I agree. I completely agree. I don't know what you're saying, that too, but I agree. Honey Badger says, Marvel is definitely in trouble, and I can say Star Wars is finally doing better than Marvel, which is pretty crazy to say. It's insane. I never thought I'd be saying that. I mean, at the time of Infinity War and Endgame, when we were getting Rise of Skywalker, we were like, holy crap, what is Star Wars doing, and why is Marvel so damn good? Now the tides have turned. Everything Star Wars has been good, not great. Marvel has been mad flops. There you go. Austin says, I love Star Wars so much. I really want to go to Star Wars Celebration. Yeah, sadly, Star Wars Celebration in 2025 is in Japan. And unless the channel gets a shit ton more subscribers, so hit that gosh darn subscribe button, or members, so become a member today by hitting that join button in the link in the description below. Unless that happens in the next couple of years, I will not be going to Star Wars Celebration. But I would love to go to Japan and go to Star Wars Celebration. Derpy Entertainment says, Captain Marvel happened. That's what it's been. Captain Marvel happened. They lost me when RDJ left. Well, he didn't really leave, did he? Yeah. Honey Badger says, Moon Knight is currently my favorite superhero since RDJ departed from Marvel. I love the story and CGI of Oscar Isaac. You can't beat that. He is Poe, Moon Knight, and Spider-Man 2099. That's true. Oscar has gotten his way around. You're actually forgetting he was Apocalypse, too, in the X-Men movies. Yeah. And he's actually in Dune, too. Oscar Isaac has had himself quite the career. He's been in Marvel. He's been in Marvel again. He's been in Marvel again. He's been in Star Wars, and he's been in Dune. And more, of course. Derpy Entertainment says, Superman Legacy? I don't even know what to tell you about that. I mean, it might get to the point where we never see Superman Legacy. However, if we do, I like the kid that they casted. He looks like Superman. The Lois Lane actually is a great actress. The girl from Marvelous Miss Maisel. She's very good. I think it could be good, for sure. Again, it's being written by James Gunn, so hopefully it's not too Guardians of the Galaxy-y. It's not too jokey. It's not like they're making fun of Superman. That would be a disaster. But we'll see. What's up, the guy says, Ant-Man's daughter is Bae. Yeah, they recasted her in the movie. Yeah. Well, yeah. Salty Texas Ranger says, Agatha? What the fuck? What moron would base a series on the worst character of WandaVision? Yeah. Agatha, Coven of Chaos. Can't wait for that one. Derpy Entertainment says, the DCEU doesn't mean anything. Well, it hasn't for like a decade. So, yeah, I agree. What just happened? What just happened? Where was I? There we go. Swagger Like Us says, in my opinion, Marvel should take a 5-year live-action hiatus. Love or hate Star Wars, pre-Disney, Lucas mastered the art of keeping your IP relevant in all medias, games, animated, and merchandising. That's true. The thing with Marvel is they should have taken a break after Endgame. It should have been like a 2-year break at least, and then come back with a story to tell. They're kind of in this in-between period of we don't know what's going on. We're making too much content to connect all of it, and it's a disaster, pretty much. But yeah, George Lucas was the genius when it came to that. I mean, think about it. There was, 16 years in between the original trilogy and the prequel trilogy, and Star Wars was still enormous for those 16 years with Legends material and all that other stuff. Derpy Entertainment says they have James Gunn now. That's an old regime. The DCEU is an old regime. That's true, but James Gunn is a bad regime. Have you seen what this guy has done since he became CEO? He's gotten rid of Cavill. He's gotten rid of Affleck. He's made the Flash movie worse. And he's talked out of his mouth way too much. He's made The Flash, Shazam, Blue Beetle, and Aquaman all be a flop by saying that they're going to reboot the DCEU. Swaggerlega says Blue Beetle looks very bad. You're not wrong. It looks terrible. It literally looks like a movie out of the early 2000s that has bad CGI, and it looks like a spoof on superhero movies. Blue Beetle? Are you kidding me? Talk about, like, you got A-list characters, you got B-list characters. This is like a Z-list character. I don't even think it makes the alphabet. Blue freaking Beetle. Are you kidding me? Swaggerlega says, what I hate about modern comic book films is how cartoonish they are. Yeah, kind of, for sure. And Blue Beetle is the definition of that. Derpy Entertainment says, Swagger, then you're not a fan at all. If you hate it for that reason, then you're not a fan at all. Well, that's not true. You look back at Phase 3, you look back at even the more cartoonish ones like Ragnarok, it's amazing. And it's not really that cartoonish. Salty Texas Ranger says, the Acolyte is going to be a woke disaster. Change my mind. I can't. I can't change your mind. And I wish I could, Salty, because as much as I love to think you're wrong with that statement, the Acolyte show, High Republic, first time in live action. For some reason, it's at the end of the High Republic. It makes no sense at all, but it is the High Republic in live action. A Sith-centered show. Doesn't get cooler than that. Leslie Headland. Like, she ruins the entire thing. She literally takes the entire coolness of the Acolyte and shoves it down and says, shut up, stay down. So as much as I'd love to say that it isn't going to be a woke disaster, we'll have to wait and see. We will have to wait and see for that one. I do hope you're wrong, and I do hope I'm wrong, but we will have to wait and see for that one. Derpy Entertainment says, I'm a DC fan. I understand the bias towards Marvel's reputation, but with James, I have more faith than what they are doing. I don't know. James Gunn, I think, is a very bad decision. I do like Guardians of the Galaxy. I hated Suicide Squad, and I think he's just too goofy, especially for Batman, especially for Superman. He's too goofy. Swagger Like Us says, Derpy, I grew up with the X-Men animated series. I'm not impressed by Disney's MCU or DC. That's because you're a casual. Well, this is getting heated. Dennis says, search leaks about Ahsoka last week. A character named Riz. Hang on one second. Named Riz may have a main plot. His character may be Ezra. So yeah, there's a bunch of leaks coming out about Ahsoka right now because there's been some screenings for the show. I don't know if this is from that or not, but it is possible that they are hiding the character of Ahsoka in a big, big way, and we'll see. We shall see. I don't know if that's true, Dennis, but maybe. What the hell? What the hell? Why does it keep scrolling back to the bottom? Stop doing that! There we go. Found it. The guy says, when is the girl who loves Star Wars coming? Maybe soon. Maybe soon. I don't know. Do you guys want her to come onto the stream? We'll see. Derpy Entertainment says, if you want James Gunn gone, then I can tell you that you're not a fan of DC at all and never will be. Well, I'm a huge fan of DC. The Christopher Nolan Batman trilogy is some of my or probably my favorite trilogy of not Star Wars, of superhero movies. It's better than Spider-Man, it's better than other Spider-Man, it's better than Iron Man, it's better than Captain America, it's better than Guardians, it's better than Thor. It's the best trilogy. And Man of Steel is the best Superman movie, arguably one of the greatest comic book movies. So I would see myself as a DC fan, but as a DC fan of good DC content. James Gunn is not the answer. But we'll see. We'll see. You never know. You never know. James Gunn may surprise me. He may surprise me. He may surprise me. James Gunn knows Feige's secrets. I think he'll do his own thing, but overall, I think he'll get it right. Well, so far, he's at a really bad start. Really bad start. Honey Badger says, I don't know. I like the 6 o'clock live streams. Me too. I do too. Yeah. Swagger says, I grew up with Spawn on HBO. That's a comic book series. Nothing DC has done in live action impresses me lately. Lately is the key word there. I prefer DC games like Arkham City series over the live action content. That's true. DC's animation and games have always, or not always, have recently been a lot better than their live action content. Yeah. Shade says, Disney ruined both companies. How shocking. Arkham is an S tier. Arkham games are S tier. That's true. But Disney ruining both companies is false. Marvel was taken over by Disney, or bought by Disney, whatever you want to call it, in what, 2011? 2012? So all of the greatness that is Phase 3, Ragnarok, Infinity War, Endgame, all that happened with Disney. So you can't say that Disney's the problem for Marvel. You can't say that Disney's the problem that Marvel's having right now. Star Wars, on the other hand, a lot of it sure could be because Disney bought it, but at the same time, a lot of it's on Kathleen Kennedy. And that's not Disney's fault. It's actually George Lucas's fault when you think about it. George Lucas is the one that put Kathleen Kennedy in charge of Lucasfilm. Now, of course, it's not his fault that Kathleen Kennedy made the decisions that she made, but it is her company now. So that's not Disney's fault either. So Disney ruining both of these companies is not what actually happened. Honey Badger says, I'm finding a way to go to Celebration in 2025. Japan is one place I want to visit, and Celebration is on my bucket list. I have to go. Imagine if we all got to go. Imagine if we got if the channel got big enough where we could do a giveaway, which the giveaway is a trip to Star Wars Celebration. That'd be awesome. It is on my bucket list too. I want to go to a Celebration for sure. In Japan, that sounds awesome. Dennis says, I have a theory about Kang Dynasty. Spider-Man is the main character of this movie. After leaks, he will become Wolverine. Plot of House of M. That's a lot to get into, but we'll keep it Star Wars for now. Derpy Entertainment says, they have their Jimmy Olsen. Who does, DC? I don't know what you're talking about. Salty Texas Ranger says, I have to say, I don't agree with the comment that Star Wars is doing better considering Disney just shuttering ILM? What? Oh, you mean ILM being shut down in the what was it? Singapore or something like that? Somewhere the ILM branch did get shut down recently, yes. But Star Wars is doing better considering Disney. I don't know. It's tough. Star Wars is in such a weird place. It is. Where one firing of the president of the company would change almost everything, but even with her there, we're still getting Ahsoka. We're still getting Skeleton Crew. We're still getting all these other projects to look forward to. So it's a weird situation. It is weird indeed. Where was Derpy Entertainment says, Skylar Gizzano is rumored to be Jimmy Olsen. I have no idea who Skylar Gizzano is. Should we look him up? Skylar. Oh, there you go. He is an American actor known for his films Licorice Pizza, Book Smarts, and Vacation. He's in Vacation? Oh, wait. See the kid in vacation? Wait, what? I don't know who this is. I don't know who that is. Okay, moving on. Salty Texas Ranger says, not to mention James Gunn and his questionable history with Oh, never mind. Okay, moving on. Shade says, our society today isn't capable of understanding the phrase less is more. That's true. That we can agree with, for sure. That's why all these companies think the answer is to just pump out more content. That is very true. That is true. I mean, think about the original trilogy, the prequel trilogy. They're years apart, and there's no content coming out in between. There's none of that. Look at even early on Marvel. There was 1 or 2 movies a year, and now you got multiple shows a year, multiple movies a year. And it's the same with Star Wars. You're getting multiple shows a year. No movies, but multiple shows a year. And maybe you're right. Maybe they should just slow down. Yeah. Star Wars Politics says, what is Blue Beetle? It's the next DC movie. Comes out tomorrow. And the fact that you don't know what it is just, it's all you need to know. It's just that. Austin says, I think Acolyte would have been better if George Lucas would have been there. Well, a lot of things would have been better if George Lucas would have been there, but I agree. I think anything pre-prequels with George there would have been a lot better, for sure. For sure. Shade says, gonna sound old AF right now, but I think that the rise of social media was the beginning of this shit show that we are currently seeing with virtually all entertainment. Yeah, you do sound old as fuck there, but you might have a point. Social media is the age of capturing short attention spans. Look at TikTok. You scroll through and you just keep scrolling. The video has to catch your attention right away, or you're just going to keep scrolling right past it. It's easy access and short attention spans. You're not wrong. Social media has done that to almost the entirety of at least America. So the short attention spans and quickly forgetting certain things, like you couldn't get away with what George Lucas did with the original trilogy now. You just couldn't do it. Now, you could argue that, let's say, Dune or even like Into the Spider-Verse, something like that, is getting away with that. I mean, the time between movies. Avatar is a great example. Avatar came out 15 years ago before the second one came out, and it made boatloads of money. So there are exceptions to the means. However, with Marvel, with Star Wars, with DC, they're trying to make all these shows, trying to make all these movies to keep the short attention span people focused on their content. So it is tough. It is tough. The guy says, Star Wars Riz. Are y'all kidding me? Yeah, the character name Riz. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Swagger Like Us says, I can't believe Disney neglects George Lucas's opinion on such an early timeline. It's true. The fact that they haven't used George Lucas at all is insane. The fact that George Lucas isn't involved in every single decision that is ever made since 2012 is just insanity. The guy has wanted to come to set. He has come to set for The Mandalorian and for certain projects that Dave Filoni's involved in. But that's because Dave Filoni is his apprentice. That's why I really want Dave Filoni to get a trilogy. If you guys haven't watched my video that came out yesterday about Dave Filoni getting a trilogy, go watch that video. But I go into how Dave Filoni, if he got a trilogy, or we talked about this in the comment section. Somebody commented, I completely forget who. But if Dave Filoni were to get a trilogy, that means George Lucas would be involved in the next trilogy of Star Wars because he would bring him onto set and have him as an advisor. Honey Badger says either Ahsoka or Ezra will turn temporarily. That's my prediction. And only my wife, Sabine, will have to end up turning them back. Well, I seriously doubt Ahsoka will turn to the dark side. She is just too pure light side, especially with the whole daughter and stuff like that. Yeah, I doubt that. But Ezra could temporarily turn to the dark side. Dominic, what's up? Dominic says, I'm late. What is the Runtimes? Did I miss it? Yeah, you did. So brief breakdown for Dominic. And and for anybody else who's new to the stream, the first episode's going to be 54 minutes. Awesome. Second episode's going to be 42, I believe. 42? Let me double check. First is 54. Yes. Second is 42 minutes. And the third episode is 34. So many people are upset about the 34 minutes because it's so short. But like we explained, some of the shorter episodes in Mando Season 1, Mando Season 2, Mando Season 3 are some of the best episodes of the show because they know with the short runtimes, people are going to complain. And then they watch the thing and they're like, oh, holy crap, wait, that was 34 minutes of straight fire. So should we be worried? No, I don't think we should be worried at all. Because I think this whole show is going to be all just straight fire the entire time. It's going to be no filler and it's going to be amazing. Losing my voice. I'm always losing my voice. Honey Badger says, and yes, the only L George Lucas ever took was choosing Kathleen Kennedy. Yep. Swagger says, that might be true. What might be true? I don't know what he's referring to. Via Kathleen and Friends. I don't think it's accurate when it comes to Dave Filoni. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Oh, less is more? Wait, what? I don't know what you're talking about. Dominic says, is the Sabine Wars begin again? Oh, yeah. Great. Just kidding. Swagger Like Us says, like Salty Texas Ranger mentioned earlier, Kathleen Kennedy firing Gina Carano was so ridiculous when I first heard it, I thought it was fake. Also true. Euphoric Nightmare, what's up? Euphoric says, it's all recap. Wait, it's all recap of the Clone Wars? What's all recap of the Clone Wars? I'm confused. Shade says, they are essentially being Henry Cavill's. Except they write the shows for Kathleen. Can't really... Wait, what are you talking about? They're all essentially being Henry Cavill's? Except they write the shows, so Kathleen Kennedy can't be... Wait, exactly what? They're being Henry Cavill's? I have no idea what you're talking about. Dominic says, the runtimes sound good to me. They do sound good to me as well. I think 51 minutes for the first episode. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. Finn, what's up, Finn? I am here. Yeah, sorry about the early start, Finn. I know it probably threw you off. Threw a lot of people off, I think. First 2 episodes. Wait, what? Oh, it's all a recap of the Clone Wars, the first 2 episodes. Yeah, I certainly hope not. Austin says, if Kathleen Kennedy goes behind the scenes and ruins the Ahsoka series, it's not happening, Austin. It's not happening because of Dave Filoni. It just won't happen. We broke Mike. I think you really did. That I don't understand. These comments are so out of order. I'm trying. Trying my best. I'm trying my best. You guys are just commenting so much. I'm loving it. But it's hard to keep up. And we haven't even gotten to half the stuff I wanted to get to. Okay. Euphoric Nightmare says, Lucas and Kennedy have been friends for decades. They could be in cahoots. But why would George Lucas want to destroy Star Wars? Euphoric, why would he want to do that? I don't think that's it. But maybe. Finn says, I joined just in time for the Sabine Wars episode 2. I guess so. Honey Badger says, I'm good with these runtimes. I just personally don't think that I don't like the double episode premiere. But on the other hand, we have 8 episodes total and Dave at the helm. So I have full faith and I'm not worried at all. Austin says, Mike, focus. I'm focused. I'm on it. I'm focused. Here we go. Okay. So yeah, I'm good with the runtimes too. And the 2 episode premiere kind of bothered me at first, but again, it's grown on me. I'm so excited to watch 2 hours almost of Ahsoka next week. Live watch party. So be there or be a rectangle. Yeah. Euphoric Nightmare says, the only plan that matters is what? Austin says, because Lucas had no plan for the sequels. Well, he did. Came out recently. He did. 2 episodes of My Wife. Honey Badger, I don't know if she'll be in all 2 hours, but we'll see. All right, let's get into this, what I wanted to get into. I finally caught up on chats. So, Disney has done a thing on Disney Plus where it says episodes to watch to get caught up with Ahsoka. Now, I'm actually watching the majority of them. If you guys didn't see, I posted a video on Monday of this week, I think, to what you should watch in preparation to the Ahsoka show. Now, it's a few episodes of Clone Wars, it's a few episodes of Rebels, it's a few episodes of Mando and Book of Boba Fett, all to get you ready and understand the characters that are coming in Ahsoka. So, my list is very similar to what Disney's is, but let's go take a look at Disney's list because it is going to be actually interesting to see what they think is going to be important for Ahsoka. Wait, what? Where is it? Oh, Ahsoka Essential Episodes. Here we go. So this is Disney Plus. And this category right here says Ahsoka Tano Essential Episodes. Now this is what Disney themselves deems essential to understanding Ahsoka's character going into the Ahsoka show. So this is what they deem essential. This is big information because what they deem essential means you must know this to understand the Ahsoka show. Meaning we might get some hints and clues here about what's going on in the Ahsoka show. So, right off the bat, you got the first introduction of Ahsoka in the Clone Wars animated show in episode 2, because she's not in episode 1. The episode 1 is just about Yoda. But that's just whatever. And then you have another thing, another very centered Ahsoka episode. Then you have the one where she becomes like a slave. Remember that in season 3 when she becomes a slave by accident for a couple episodes and she's lost and then they have to escape. Then it fast forwards. Oops, I skipped over it. Then it fast forwards to episode 5. Now this is where things get interesting. Episode 5 is when Ahsoka leaves the Order, and it's a 3-episode arc, 2-episode arc, a 4-episode arc. It's a 4-episode arc of Ahsoka leaving the Jedi Order. Now, I just got done watching this arc, and it's amazing. And it's when Ahsoka gets set up by the Jedi, or not set up by Barriss, but she gets removed from the Jedi Order. And then they track down Barriss, or Anakin tracks down Barriss, and then they eventually end up that Barriss confesses, and Ahsoka gets offered to come back to the Jedi Order, and she says no, and she leaves the Jedi Order. Now, this is a huge plot point in Anakin Skywalker's fall to the dark side, but it's also going to be a huge thing that happens, or that has to do with the Ahsoka show, because Ahsoka is still feeling the backlash of this. She knows now that Vader is Anakin. She didn't know it for a long, long time. She didn't know it when hang on, let me explain this real quick. Before we keep going, let me explain this. So, in the Clone Wars Season 7, when Order 66 happens, and Ahsoka says Anakin, she's referring to the fact that she thinks Anakin has died. When he falls to the dark side, she can no longer feel him in the Force. So she thinks Anakin dies then and there. And it's not until Rebels in Season 2, when she senses Darth Vader and she looks into the Force, deep down into his soul, and feels Anakin. And that realization that this completely just bad guy, Darth Vader is a bad guy, the worst guy almost in the entire galaxy, guy who's killed countless Jedi, has killed countless innocent people, that person was her master. And that causes her to faint. She literally faints in that episode when she realizes that Anakin is Vader. Then she ends up fighting Anakin, and one of the first things she says when she meets Anakin on Malachor 5 is, "I will not leave you this time," because she feels so much regret for leaving Anakin. She feels responsible for it. And that's where she still is at the beginning of the Ahsoka show. See, she still feels responsible for leaving Anakin, for his fall to the dark side, because she kind of is. And that's where the Ahsoka show kind of takes off from. And that's why these episodes of her leaving the Jedi Order are so important because that is an enormous thing when it comes to Anakin's fall to the dark side. Then we get into her and the is it the Martinez or something like that sisters, and that's in season 7. I don't think that's all that necessary, but they seem like it's essential. Then you get into the Siege of Mandalore. Now I think this is essential because of Ahsoka's character development in this arc. I don't think it's all that essential to knowing what's going on with Ahsoka. But it is interesting that they add all 3 episodes from Tales of the Jedi. Now, these are easy watches, but it's Ahsoka as a baby, Ahsoka training with Anakin. Now, this is going to be very important when it comes to Ahsoka. And then you have Ahsoka fighting that Inquisitor in the 3rd and final episode. Then you get into Rebels. Now, this is when she fights Vader. This is when Vader's introduced, and this is when Ahsoka's introduced. Then this is, of course, Ahsoka versus Vader in the finale of season 2. Then you get the Loth Wolves. Now, these Loth Wolves are going to be very, very important. You get the World Between Worlds, which is going to be very, very important, but it's also when Ahsoka comes back to life. And then you get the Mando episode with Ahsoka's first ever live action appearance. And you get chapter 6 of Book of Boba Fett, where you have Luke and Ahsoka talking. So it's pretty much almost the same list that I put in my video, and I put it before you, Disney, so stop copying my videos. But it is essential to understanding Ahsoka's character. But what's interesting is the World Between Worlds is on there, and the Loth Wolves is on there. So those 2 things are going to be essential to understanding the Ahsoka show, because you have to understand what the World Between Worlds actually is for when Ahsoka goes into it in the show. Whew, that was a lot. But what do you guys think? What do you think is probably the most essential thing or most few episodes that you think are essential to watch to understand Ahsoka? What do you think? I don't know. I'm tired today. Trying to hype myself up. Should we watch the trailer again? Did we watch the trailer again? Did we watch the trailer already? Where was I? Austin says, I'm all caught up. Yeah, you watched all of Rebels and Clone Wars recently, right? Okay, that's pretty cool. Disney did that, to be honest. Yeah, it is helpful. Finn says, I am no Jedi. I don't think you are, Finn. I don't think you are. Honey Badger says, Master Skywalker, there's too many of them. What are we going to do? Yeah, imagine we get some Order 66 flashbacks. Like, the amount of Order 66 flashbacks we've gotten over the last couple of years is kind of insane. From different points of views and stuff. Think about it. Grogu's point of view in Mando Season 3. Kanan's point of view from the Bad Batch. Jedi Survivor had the point of view of, or Jedi Fallen Order, I should say, of Cal Kestis. You have so many different points of view. Austin says, was the Grand Inquisitor there in the Season 5 finale? Season 5 finale of Clone Wars? No. Season 5 finale of Clone Wars, was he there? No. I don't think so. Why would he be there? Oh, you mean like as a temple guard? It's possible. I don't know if it was the Grand Inquisitor himself, but it's possible. It is possible. Now that we have 12 people in here, smash a gosh darn like on this video and become a member today. Free giveaway. Well, not free, you have to become a member, but giveaway next week and for many weeks to come. Because of Ahsoka. Giveaway. And still waiting on that first ever super chat. No pressure. I am so tired. Swagger Like Us says, Mike, I feel Ahsoka, like Mando before, will have a great jump in point. Oh, great jump in point. Like a great jump in point to the Star Wars galaxy. Yes. If the series can stand on its own, like Rebels and the Clone Wars and Andor, do you need to hold the audience's hand? It's possible that the Ahsoka show, you might not have to watch anything before you watch it. It is possible, but we'll see. Honey Badger says, Ahsoka leaving the Order and more importantly, Anakin is what started his fall, and that's absolutely sad. If she stayed, everything would have played out differently. Do you think we will see her struggle with that realization in her show? Yes, absolutely yes. So much so that it will send her into the world between worlds to try and go back and change the past. Like, that is going to be a huge thing. Her trying to realize that she can't change what happened. That's going to be enormous. Yeah. Swagger says, I wouldn't mind that being in the show, seeing how Ahsoka dealt with it. Yeah, I think it's definitely going to be a main plot point of the early on episodes of this show. Her realizing, and maybe that ends with Anakin's Force Ghost coming to see her and easing her mind that it's not all her fault. Honey Badger says, the Clone Wars episode, when she leaves the Order, the fight between her and Vader and the World Between Worlds scenes in the Book of Boba Fett episode, I think are the most important. Hang on, let me break that down. The episode in the Clone Wars where she leaves the Order, of course. The fight between her and Vader in Rebels, of course. The World Between Worlds is going to be extremely important. I think if any episode is the most important, probably the World Between Worlds. And the Book of Boba Fett episode, yeah. Because she meets Luke in that one, or, well, we see that she's met Luke before. Do you guys think that we'll see the first meeting of Luke and Ahsoka in this show? Tell me in the chat. Do you guys think that? What do we think? What do you think? Yes. Austin says yes. I don't know. I go back and forth on it. It's possible. If they keep doing a lot of flashbacks, it is possible. But it would take place before the show started. So I don't know. Dominic says, I hope so. Yeah, I do too. But I think it's unlikely. Yeah. Finn says, the Master Skywalker kid acting was the real tragedy. I mean, it's a kid actor. What do you expect? Honey Badger says his acting was great. When he jumped back and got scared, Hayden actually yelled boo and scared the youngling actor in real life, and they used it in episode 3. I have seen that. That's pretty cool. Austin says, oh man, it's not time travel. No, the World Between Worlds is not time travel. That's the biggest thing, is it's not time travel. Big thing. No time travel. No. Dominic says, but this series seems like Luke may not show up. I think that's also true. Yeah. Shade says, no. These people feeling like they need to hold the fans' hands, like we are intelligent enough to sit still, is part of the reason that most shows suck nowadays. I could agree with that. I think people have to realize that the fans are smarter than they think. And I think Kevin Feige realized that early on with Marvel. He realized that people are going to see these Easter eggs in these movies, understand what 2 + 2 is, and they'll be able to follow this connective storyline that is the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Star Wars is starting to figure that out. The Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett, Ahsoka, they're all in the same time period. They all are kind of cohesive stories, but there's no like recap. There's no what happened other than like, of course, what happened last week, but there's no recap of what happened in the last season. They're not trying to hold your hand as much, like you said, Shades. The fans are intelligent enough to understand. I agree with that. Euphoric Nightmare says, Lucas has been back writing for years and years to explain everything, like a final draft. Filoni has his end game. I believe his orders are to shatter our hearts and expectations. That would be insane. If George Lucas had any part in writing or directing or anything on this Ahsoka show, that would be so damn cool. But sadly, we won't know that until after we see the show and after we probably get like the behind the scenes stuff. Yeah. Shade says, shows that make you feel stupid and your first watch through end up being some of the favorite shows. That's true. Shows that you have to like dissect, go back and watch a couple times to realize what's really going on. Those are the best shows. You're not wrong. Cough, cough, Game of Thrones. Cough, cough, Sons of Anarchy, Peaky Blinders, etc. Game of Thrones, yes. Peaky Blinders, yes. Sons of Anarchy, I have not watched, but I'm sure you're right. Euphoric Nightmare says, the Galaxy and the Republic should be at the lowest when the next phase begins. You mean after the sequel trilogy? Yes. Yes, and that's kind of cool. Although the characters that we would follow would be Rey and Finn and Poe, it is cool that the galaxy would be at that turmoil where the Republic is at its lowest, the galaxy's at its lowest, the First Order's gone. Yeah, it will be cool. Dominic says, the world between worlds is more of a meeting place in time and space. It's not time travel, more of a window of history. Palpatine describes it as an echo of history. Yes, Palpatine describes it as a conduit between the living and the dead. It's more of a way to commune with the dead and see the past than to time travel to the past. Now, Ahsoka is the exception to this, being pulled out of the world between worlds, but we'll see it get explained in Ahsoka, I'm sure. I am sure. Star Wars Politics says, I think we could see Luke in episode 2. I think if we were to see Luke, it would be early on in the season, but we'll see. Austin says, the sequels are a mess. That is the understatement of the year. The sequels are a mess, that's for sure, but it's a mess that I still believe could be cleaned up slightly. Not fully. They will never be as good as anything else Star Wars, but they could be cleaned up slightly. That's my take, at least. I know many of you, and trust me, I've seen the comments on the last video. Many of you feel very strongly that the sequels cannot be fixed, that they will never be fixed, and that they need to be retconned. The amount of comments like that I've answered today is insane. Star Wars Politics says, Luke and Ahsoka could lead to a cliffhanger. Oh my god, a Luke-Ahsoka cliffhanger? Woo-hoo. Count me in. Count me in. 1,000%. That would be amazing. Absolutely. Absolutely. That would be awesome. Honey Badger says, I don't know. I still think and pray that we get Ahsoka going into the world between worlds and leaving with Padme to Mustafar. Leaving with Padme to Mustafar instead of Kenobi. I don't know how that changes the world between worlds or time travel. Well, I think you could still get that. But the problem is Ahsoka has to realize that that doesn't matter. What she does doesn't affect the future. It still remains the same. Destiny still has to happen. Anakin is destined to fall to the dark side. He is the chosen one, and he eventually kills the Sith. Kind of, because somehow Palpatine returned. I'm actually working on a full-on video on this right now. It probably is going to release on Sunday. I do have a wedding to go to tomorrow. It is not mine. But I do have a wedding to go to tomorrow, so there probably won't be a video tomorrow. But what's up, Freakseek? He says, I sensed Mike was live. Yeah. So no video tomorrow, but Sunday there will be a video about, is Anakin still the chosen one? And it's going to be a great video, I believe. But I'd love to see what your guys' take is on that. Because with the whole sequel trilogy, with somehow Palpatine returned, is Anakin still the chosen one? He wasn't even in the sequel trilogy. He was mentioned once. So I go into depth all about this. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see what you guys think about it. I don't know. Do you guys think Anakin is still the chosen one? I know if you're like, oh, the sequels aren't canon, they never were canon, then you're probably like, yeah, he's still the chosen one. But do you think he's still the chosen one after the sequel trilogy, after somehow Palpatine returned? If he was supposed to bring balance to the Force, then how did somehow Palpatine return? Swagger Like Us says, like someone already mentioned, we are going to see a big cameo quickly in Ahsoka. Even the clips of Anakin's voiceover sound like live-action rendition of Tales of the Jedi from Ahsoka, for Ahsoka. Yeah, so it's obvious that Anakin speaking in that trailer that we watched is Anakin from the Clone Wars. And that is going to be made obvious very early on. Now, it's probably going to be in the first 2 episodes, I would guess. Flashbacks, most likely. But if Anakin, Clone Wars Anakin, is in the first couple episodes, this show's just going to blow minds. It's going to blow minds. Honey Badger says, I don't know how the World Between Worlds is going to work, but I want to see it. Yeah, me too. Euphoric Nightmare says, the gap between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens. What is it? How many years? I believe it's about 30. Yeah, Swagger says 30. So it's about 30. I think it's 29-ish, 28 maybe, but it is around that 30 mark. Yeah, 30-ish years. So we're about 10 years into it with The Mandalorian and stuff like that. So we're not even halfway. We're not even halfway towards the sequel trilogy. Yeah. Dominic says, how many people think that Ezra will be an antagonist in this series, meaning a bad guy? What do we think is Ezra's role after all of this? Do we think he's working with Thrawn? Is he in the New Beyond training? What do we think he's doing? That's a great question. What do we think Ezra's doing? Could he be a bad guy? Could he be a good guy? And what is his role moving forward after this show and after Dave Filoni's movie? It's a great question. I think he won't be a bad guy. I think the Ezra we see leave at the end of season 4 is sacrificing himself, literally probably thinking he's going to die, sacrificing himself to kill Thrawn and the Empire. And he's doing that out of the light of the Force, of course. He is a good guy. He is trying to stop Thrawn, who is evil. Now, the problem with that is, if he were to come back as a bad guy after the last time, I know it's been 10 years, but after the last time we saw him, he was so against Thrawn that he was willing to sacrifice his own life. I think him coming back working for Thrawn doesn't make that much sense. Now, I could see a possibility where it does make sense, but I think it's less likely that he comes working for Thrawn. I just don't see it happening. Maybe. Finn says, he is Anakin, of course. He is still the chosen one, regardless of what the lazy writers do. I think I agree with that. Dominic says, Anakin's voice was in the trilogy when he and the other Jedis spoke to Rey. That's true, but that's the only time. That's the only time that he is in the trilogy, which is insane. If he's the chosen one, he should be there. At least as the Force goes to Luke or Force goes to anybody, should be there. What he did was so important that it should be talked about, at least. Honey Badger says, but Palpatine used the World Between Worlds to save himself, so he cheated the prophecy at the same time Anakin completed the prophecy. Regardless, he ended the Jedi and the Sith. Luke continued. So you're saying he is still the chosen one. Freak Zeke, the chosen one. Revan, Anakin, and Rey. Ooh, you just angered billions of fans. Rey is not the chosen one, never will be the chosen one, but she is a dyad in the Force with Kylo Ren. I can't deny that, which is insane. But Revan, the chosen one, maybe. Maybe that is the case. Maybe there's multiple chosen ones. Maybe. Honey Badger says, the Jedi legacy moving forward. What? Shade says, he still is the chosen one. The sequel's trying to change that. It's just woke BS. I don't know if they tried to change it more as they just tried to ignore it. They ignored it. J.J. Abrams has publicly spoken out about how he doesn't like the prequel trilogy, which is insane. It's absolutely insane. Finn says, Mike, you know how I've got the screening coming up with the first 2 episodes? Well, I have received the press release today along with an NDA, and I can just say I'm getting excited. Well, the NDA means you can't really talk about it, which makes sense, but I also don't want any spoilers, so you can just give us your 1 out of 10 review when you do see it. You're seeing it on Saturday or Sunday? When are you seeing it? Sunday? So you can give us your spoiler-free review on Tuesday's stream, and we'll go from there. Honey Badger says, Ezra turned when he heard Sabine and I had gotten married. Well, there you go. He will be a dark side user after he heard Honey Badger and Sabine had gotten married. Sunday evening, you're seeing it. Yeah, so Tuesday, you can give us your review. Swagger Like Us says, rewatching Rebels so much lately, I can't see Ezra doing a 360 after all that growth. He's so important, and like Ahsoka, he has he has one of the most unique relationships via the Force. I agree. I think all the development he has, especially throughout season 4, I can't see him turning to the dark side. I can't. Dominic says, and Anakin is the chosen one. I am holding on to that belief because Project Necromancer is cloning Palpatine. That also could be the case. Honey Badger says, but in all seriousness, Ezra with no saber in the New Beyond, with Thrawn and the Night Sisters, that there could have been an impact on him. He could have been in a decade-long fight while waiting for Ahsoka and Sabine. That's true. That is true. Swagger Like Us says, Disney tried to make Rey the chosen one. That's true. They tried and they failed. Dominic says, I agree. Doesn't make sense for Ezra to be evil. Yeah. Star Wars Politics says, dude, how do these people in your stream, Mike, get exclusive access? Oh, that was all me. I gave him the exclusive access. Yeah. No, just kidding. I don't know how Finn got the exclusive access, but it's pretty damn cool. Finn got the golden ticket. Yeah. Can't wait to hear his impression. Yeah, me either. I can't wait. I can't wait for the Ahsoka show in general, but I do think I'm going to have to cut this stream short. I know. I'm so sorry. I really have to pee, but also the wedding I spoke of, I do have to go on a long car ride to get to it tonight and stay over for the wedding tomorrow. So there won't be a video out tomorrow, but there will be a stream on Saturday. There will be a video on Sunday, and we'll be getting hyped for Ahsoka, which is in 6 days. So yeah. And if you want to be a part of that giveaway on Tuesday, you have until Tuesday to wrangle up $4.99 to become a member of the channel for the ability to win this shirt and this pop figure. Just become a member today by hitting that join button in the description below, or the join button next to the subscribe button. Become a member today, or just support the channel by hitting that subscribe, hitting that like button, and just coming to watch the streams. Of course, you guys are the absolute best. I cannot wait for this show, and I cannot wait at all. But let me catch up real quick. Freak Seek says, the Chosen One prophecy is ultimately an unnecessary addition to the Star Wars mythos. The Skywalker drama didn't need it, but the Clone Wars has done well to expand upon it. That's true. That is true. The Clone Wars does a good job of expanding upon it. Honey Badger says, this is unreal. I cannot wait. Ahsoka 2 streams. Let's frickin' go. I know. It's awesome. Swagger says, Mike, when you met Hayden, did you ask him about the Ahsoka series? I didn't. I didn't have the time, and I also didn't want to be that guy who was like, hey, Hayden, are you in Ahsoka? I'm sure he got that probably all day. And I honestly didn't want to be that guy. So I shook his hand. I said, we just had a very brief conversation. He said, may the Force be with you. He said, nice to meet you. He said this, that, the other. He was very nice, but I didn't want to be that guy. But yeah, it was very cool to meet him. I will be up early in the morning trying to super chat if I can. Mike deserves it. Swagger, you are the absolute best. Can't wait for that stream. And it will be the perfect time to get the first ever super chat during the live stream for Ahsoka. Yeah, it'll be great. But yeah, we'll be here, and of course, you'll be here. So yeah, guys, I'm so tired. I don't know why I'm so tired. I'm very tired. But watch out for that video on Sunday. Watch out for that stream on Saturday, and maybe I'll put up a poll or something tomorrow so we got some activity going on in the community. You guys are the absolute best. Can't thank you guys enough for coming, supporting the channel, being the best that you guys are. So, last in today, Euphoric Nightmare says, based on the script, Anakin wasn't born on Tatooine. He only lived there since he was 3, remember? He said so himself. Ooh, fascinating. What a cliffhanger to leave us on right there, because I really have to pee. This poll ended with 66 % of you saying that you are not worried about the runtimes, which is good. I'm not worried either. However, again, the votes did not add up to 100%, which is, again, very, very strange. Good luck with the wedding. Catch the bouquet. I will. Just for you, Freak Zeke. All right. You guys are the absolute best. Hit that subscribe. Hit that like button. Why haven't you hit that like button already? Hit the like button and hit that bell so you get notified every time I post a video, and my pretty face will show up in the recommended feed of yours. And may the force be with you. Always, 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 always. Why is this button always the most difficult thing to ever find on this freaking planet? Got it. You guys are the absolute best. You know that? You guys are the absolute best. I hope you have a great rest of your evening. I hope you have a great rest of your lives. And good night, everybody. Now I don't want to end the stream. What if we would just hang out? Should we just hang out? Should we just J1DRZ, you just showed up. No. You guys still here? Should we keep the party going? Are you guys still here? Post-credit scene. What's up, guys? Post-credit scene. Oh my God, there's a post-credit scene to this live stream. It's me. J1DRZ just showed up. He just showed up. I couldn't leave without saying hello. All right, I do have to get on out of here. I really have to pee. It's usually at 6, J1DRZ. I'm so sorry. I had to push it to 5 today. Don't worry about it. But this was your post-credit scene. May the force be with you. Always. And good night, everybody. Yeah.